As we're cutting this leek, you can see that there's some dirt inside, so we're going to wash this as soon as we get down to the center core. This is going to be the basis for our seafood bouillabaisse we're going to be making. So we're just going to peel off a few of the outer layers here. There we go. And just give this a wash. Just prior to the pandemic, Fleischmann's Yeast decided to do an overhaul on their facilities. In fact, the people that make the jar, these glass jars, come from India, and India decided to retool their factory, so they shut down their factories for a number of months while they decided to have a planned retooling. And since there was no more jars to be, or I guess Fleischmann had enough jars, well, what happened was Fleischmann cut the production of their factories way down. So what happened? Well, we had a pandemic. Everyone stayed home. They all wanted to bake. So we ran out of yeast. You couldn't get any more yeast. I've got my jar now. They're back in production. But you couldn't buy Fleischmann's yeast. The other thing you couldn't buy was flour. We ran out of flour. Yes, I've got my bag now. So what happened is people who had sourdough bread channels, YouTube channels that talked about how to start yeast cultures and sourdough bread became superstars overnight. The pandemic had a huge effect on food channels on YouTube. As people stayed at home, they wanted to learn how to cook, and many of them had never cooked before. And it was a feeding frenzy for cooking channels. And today we're going to talk about 5 of my favorite cooking channels I follow along. These are people who were propelled into stardom through the pandemic. They were pretty famous before, but the pandemic really propelled them into stardom. So let's have a look at this. Grab something to eat, sit back, and we're going to have a fun time. Well, it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos to help seniors understand technology. And if you want to be notified when we make new videos, then you know the subscribe and notification thing below. So just click the button, subscribe, and and notification, and we'll send you a note when we create new videos. You're saying, what the heck, Ron? Is this a cooking channel now? What I want to talk today about is YouTube, and I want to talk about the success of food channels on YouTube, particularly through the pandemic. People didn't know how to cook, they wanted to learn, and these channels became phenomenally popular. I have 5 favorites that I'm going to show you today, although I probably follow several hundred, because that's where I get all my recipes. But these 5 have very interesting people who run the channels, and we're going to talk a little bit about the channels, what type of food they cook, and why you should watch them. And in the show notes below, I will post links to all their channels, so you don't have to be writing a bunch of stuff down. So sit back, put your feet up, grab something to eat, because you're going to get hungry, and we're going to have a good time.
On those occasions when you have guests and you need something great for breakfast, we got your back so big, you won't even know you had a back. And by the way, I don't think that actually made sense. But I will say this, I've been asked to do a version of this forever. It involves refrigerator biscuits and eggs and cheese, and frankly, I could stop there and it would be fantastic. We're doing kind of an Italian.
So the first channel I'd like to talk about today is Sam the Cooking Guy. Sam Zed, Z-I-E-N, is from Vancouver, Canada. Yay! And he's married, lives with his wife and 3 children in San Diego. Sam was propelled into stardom through the pandemic, but he was a star before that. He has an interesting history, and if you go back in his early days in Vancouver, struggled to find a job that he really liked. He decided in 2001 he went to Japan and was going to start a broadcast show on travel, and he was going to be your everyman's traveler and travel around telling you where to go and what hotels to stay in. He had it all set up, and it was going to be aired as a television show through Japan, and of course it got canceled because of 9/11. He went back to Vancouver The project never went ahead, but he always had that in the back of his mind that he'd like to do broadcasting. He then moved to Phoenix, Arizona. You all know that I spent a large part of my time down in Mesa. And he got his real estate license and sold real estate, which he hated. He then, of course, moved on to property management, which he hated more. And then his family moved to San Diego. And through a series of events, he got involved in cooking. And his claim to fame was that he was a poor barbecuer. That was all he ever knew about cooking. As typically happens, men are relegated to the barbecue, and most don't do a very good job of that. So that was about all he knew, but he had a great personality and really liked to cook. He thought he could explain cooking for the everyday person and come up with some great recipes. I started watching Sam when he had about 500,000 subscribers. He made a video at that time because Google had him go to their head office, and he did a motivational talk for an hour to, I guess, YouTube employees to show them how well he was doing. And so that was sort of cool, and I'll put the link in the show notes for because that's an interesting video to listen to. Well, when he reached 1 million subscribers, I watched his show that he did, and he gave away a lot of expensive barbecues and everything. It was a really great show when he passed the 1 million mark. I missed his 2 million mark, and I missed the show for his 3 million mark. Yes, he's got over 3 million subscribers. He's written a number of cooking books. He owns 3 restaurants. He's done a show on a nuclear-powered U.S. submarine. He's done a show on a nuclear-powered U.S. aircraft carrier. He's 62 years old and is having the time of his life. He truly enjoys what he's doing. So let's have a look at a man who has won 13 Emmys and in a very short time in his life has had 3 million subscribers subscribed to his YouTube channel and is having the time of his life. Let's see what the magic sauce is.
Thought of scallion. I know what the f*** a scallion is.
Now you do.
Giggity giggity. Oh. Okay, the flavor is just off the charts. The pesto puddles that were in this, amazing. The melty cheese. It's this contrast between the crispy corners of the biscuits and the soft underbelly of this thing. It's a dream that you will want to eat all the time. And make for your friends. But the only downside is if it's too good, they might want to come back all the time. There's so much noise going on in there. There's kids playing, whatever. But that's what this is for families. Make it. Make it, eat it, love it.
Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck. So, like I just said, I just came back from this amazing journey to Italy and Greece, and the next dish I'm going to make has absolutely nothing to do with either of those countries. Actually, there was this restaurant on the ship that had this cute little adorable interactive thing where they project it onto the table and a little chef goes on your plate and the whole table turns into an ocean and he goes fishing on the plate for certain ingredients to put into a soup or a stew. And look at me, I wore my seahorse shirt just for this occasion. Look at seahorses. Why? Because we're making something from the sea.
The next channel is called Pressure Luck Cooking. It's run by a man by the name of Jeffrey Eisner, who describes himself as a Jewish boy from Long Island. In 2017, he made a video about cooking mac and cheese and put it on his YouTube and Facebook sites. This quickly became very popular, and with the pandemic and the popularity of cooking channels, he now has 300,000 subscribers. Now, I found Pressure Luck Cooking when I was looking for recipes for my Instapot. I bought an Instapot about 4 years ago, and I use it every day. I just love it, whether it's cooking rice, whether I'm doing stews, or making soups. It's an absolute great utensil in the kitchen. So when I was looking for recipes, I found Pressure Luck Cooking. And the first recipe I looked at was a seafood bouillabaisse. Now, I was looking for a special recipe because it was going to be Christmas Eve 2 years ago. And it was the first time that my wife and I had ever been by ourselves for Christmas Eve dinner. This was a real downer and certainly a problem with the pandemic because none of the kids could come home. So I made her this seafood bouillabaisse, and it was a huge success. I've probably made the recipe over 30 times now, and if you come to visit, which I hope you all come and visit me sometime, I will be making you this for lunch or for dinner or whenever you're going to be here. It is a very popular soup I do, and I always have lots of seafood. It's very simple to do, and that's what I was making earlier on when we started the video. We're having a seafood dinner tonight, and this is going to be one of our signature items. Jeffrey, with his Pressure Lock Cooking, is a interesting channel. He has some very good recipes. These recipes are not specific to Instapot. You could certainly do these in the stove, on the stove, or in a slow cooker. So give it a try. They're some really tasty stuff. Let's have a look at his secret sauce.
Bouillabaisse. Look at all that. The scallops, the fish, the crab meat, the shrimp. And by the way, you can add really any seafood you want. You want some mussels in there? Add some mussels. You want some clams? Add clams. You want some lobster? Add lobster. It's up to you. Hey, even calamari can be fun. You can throw a few rings in there. Whatever you want to do, the sky's the limit here. But the bouillabaisse should just be full of wonderful seafood delights and treasures. Okay, we are now ready to serve this up into some bowls. Start by ladling in some soup with some shrimp and some fish in there. Let's get some scallops and crab meat and some of that cod. Oh boy, we are looking delightful here, folks.
Well, hello there, friends. One of my favorite chicken fricassee. Really easy to make. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're gonna make it together right now. Okay, friends. Well, this is an easy one. This is for all of our newcomers, new subscribers, because you may not have seen one of our braised chicken. It's also for everybody who's on a budget right now, and that would be me, everybody. I mean, wow, the price of food today is amazing, my friends. Everything is crazy, yeah? So we're going to do a lot of chicken dishes, because chicken is still, is up, but it's not crazy, right? So we're going to do a braised chicken. We're going to do a chicken fricassee. A lot of you have requested a chicken fricassee. A child could do it. So we're going to do it, friends. First thing we're going to do is we're going to saute some onion, and we're using butter, regular butter. Matter of fact, I've been cooking all day today, and I got no more butter left. Can you imagine that?
All right. I know you don't want to listen to me, and you'd rather stay tuned to Chef John Paul, but I want to just give you some information about the channel. He's a relatively newcomer to YouTube. He has just under 1 million subscribers, and he's getting 80,000 subscribers a month. He soon will be a superstar. He's so addicting. My advice to you is do not watch this channel, because if you at all are interested in cooking, you will never stop. He is just got a great personality. So let me give you a bit of a history about who he is and where he's come from. So Chef John Paul is a James Beard nominee chef. He's a TV personality and an author of 3 cookbooks with 54 years experience as a professional chef. He opened and ran one of America's best 100 restaurants for 22 years and has a cooking school with over 40,000 students for more than 20 years. The chef hosted 200 cooking shows, which were distributed on PBS in every television market in the US, as well as China and Australia. The chef appeared on the Today Show 28 times, as well as and has been a guest on Larry King, Regis, Kathy Lee, and the Lifetime Channel. After many years, he is coming out of retirement to once again teach and entertain us with a fun and easy approach to gourmet cooking. Come learn cooking with Chef John Pierre, making cooking fun for everyone. As Chef John Pierre would say, even a child could do it. So it is a lot of fun, and let's get back and see what his secret sauce is.
Potato warm, and then it took forever to cook with the carrots. I couldn't believe it, how long them carrots took. Look at this, they're gorgeous or what? Is that beautiful or what, my friends? And then you can finish it up with a little bit of that, and then, don't forget, sage is present, right? So since I'm lucky enough to get the fresh sage, I like to put a tree of sage right there on top of it. And right there, my friends, we got ourselves a beautiful plate. Then here's a perfect dinner, and that was simple to make. You can do this, okay? Everybody can do this, okay? And I'm telling you, you guys are gonna love it. And I'm gonna check it to make sure it's perfect now. And I should have, I want to make sure we can do it with the camera. But you see, look at this, look at this, friends. Look at this. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, I love my life. I love my job. I love cooking for you guys. Oh, it's amazing. You can taste the sage right there. It's not too much in your face. I can get a hint of the nutmeg in there. And you know what's special? Is in the cream, all the fat in the cream. Can't even taste it in your tongue. It's not thick because of the lemon. The perfect balance between the fat and the acidity. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a pleasure to cook for you. Don't forget, thumbs up if you like the video.
Off of your lasagna, put it in, and watch it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's nice and golden brown on top.
Number 14 is chicken Alfredo.
All right, so to get started, you're gonna push the saute button, and we're gonna let that heat up to...
6 sisters. Can you imagine having 5 siblings? Well, with just under 1 million subscribers to their food channel and many affiliate marketing, the 6 Sisters food channel is an amazing place to find great recipes. I started again looking at Instapot, and I wanted to find some more recipes. Well, I stumbled on 6 Sisters and have been hooked ever since. Now, I'm sure they are a lot better looking than I am, and I'm going to let them tell their story. But if you want to find some great recipes, not just on Instapot, you'll go to their YouTube channel and follow along. So let's have a look and see how they do.
We are the sisters from sixsistersstuff.com, which is a blog that we started in 2011. Every day we share our favorite recipes, easy recipes that everyone can make at home. Travel tips, fitness ideas, style, basically everything that we're passionate about. We just love sharing our stuff. I'm Camille, and I am the oldest of the 6 sisters. As the blog kind of progressed, I started looking more at the fitness and health side, and so that's where 6 Sisters Strong started, and that's kind of what I run.
Hi, I'm Kristen, and I am sister number 2. I run the affiliate program, so I'm in charge of Amazon and 6 Sisters Style.
My name is Elise, and I am the 3rd of the 6 sisters. My husband works full-time with us now, so each week we send a menu plan with recipes for each night of the week.
I'm Stephanie. I'm sister number 4. I take care of our e-commerce and affiliates on 6 Sisters Stuff. I also get a lot of help from my husband. He's an accountant, so he makes sure that we keep all of our numbers in order.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'm Kendra, and we are the youngest of the 6 sisters.
I run a lot of the marketing for our company, and I also am the one that communicates with all of the brands that we work with.
And I work with the Facebook page. I answer all the questions and comments, and I also do customer service.
Growing up, our mom always had family dinner on the table.
Our recipes we make as simple as possible so you can spend less time in the kitchen, less time at the drive-thru, and sit together with your family to enjoy a meal together.
Hey, what's up everybody? Hungry Hussy here. Today's gonna be a crazy day. Crazy. As you know, the griddle guys and myself. They're up north a little ways. I'm down here in south. We did a little collab. I sent them a little something from the south. They sent me a little something from the north. What they sent me was pretty dang crazy. I'm going to tell you that. So, you're probably saying, if you didn't catch my teaser video, you're probably going to say, what do you got, Hussy? I'm going to tell you what these suckers brought. Not brought. I'm going to tell you what they sent, Hungry Hussy. Larry. Look at my boy Larry. Larry the lobster. Larry, say hello to YouTube. So, these guys...
The Hungry Hussy YouTube channel. Well, Matthew Hussey is a man who lives in North Carolina. He's married, has his children who often appear in the videos with him. I don't think it's a full-time job for him, but I've been watching him now for about 5 years. I initially looked him up, not for an Instant Pot, but I have a Blackstone grill. His recipes and promotions were focused largely around the Blackstone grill, so I followed along to get some interesting recipes. This is the funniest video I've ever seen, and certainly you should look at it later after the show. There's a bit of rivalry between what he does and another group in the northern states, and of course they decided to swap products that they had to cook on the grill. Well, they sent Matthew a 5-pound lobster. I don't think Matthew had ever seen a lobster before, and it's how not to cook a lobster on a Blackstone grill. So this was a very funny video that he did. I've enjoyed Matthew. He's a very interesting and lovable guy. He has great videos on how to grill. I have a big Blackstone grill on my deck, which is part of our kitchen. I've enjoyed his videos very much and look forward to new ones that he does. As we finish off, just have a look at this individual. This is the second house that he purchased. He built the house with the idea of his YouTube channel. He does all his own video editing and promotion. So have a look at this and enjoy it.
That's something kind of good right there. Well, there you have it, folks. Our hibachi dinner, it is done. And man, I am ready to dig into this. It just smells amazing. I got me a little boat, got me a spoon, and I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try a little bit of these veggies, a couple pieces of this chicken, a couple of pieces of this, and a little bit of scallions, a little bit of green onion on top. Makes it pretty. Give us a look, y'all. Look at that.
Well, I'm sure you're hungry now. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Remember the like and subscribe thing? Have a great day, enjoy your cooking, and we'll see you again in about a week. Bye now.
Tech for Seniors present the website of the week with Hewie Poplock.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Website of the week number 11. I'm Hewie Poplock. Let's look at Taste Atlas, which offers a fashionable visual database dressed in a convenient map presentation. Discover local ingredients, traditional dishes, and authentic restaurants. They have cataloged over 10,000 foods and drinks and more to be researched and mapped. The popular ones, as well as the forgotten tastes and aromas of every city, region, and village in the world. Travel and explore, eat and drink. This is a quote from the website. With a focus on local cuisine viewed from the comfort of an invitingly designed world map, the presentation highlights notable dishes and recipes in virtually every region. The site is searchable both by food and location. Each featured dish is accompanied by relevant details such as information on ingredients, classification, and where to eat. Let's take a look. This is tasteatlas.com. Let's take a look at it. First, we're going to do the search locations or food. And let's start with a summer roll, one of my favorites. And there's two possibilities, and I know it's this one, and that's the picture. If you're familiar with the summer roll, it does explain a little bit about it, the fact that it came from Vietnam, and what's in it, the ingredients. And then there's an overview of the item, and then where to eat. And it gives some restaurants where you can find this delicacy. Now, it doesn't have my local restaurant, but I do know that I can get this locally as well, because I do. And then it shows some more appetizers, because summer rolls are appetizers. And then more from Vietnam. So there's lots of information here. Let's do one more search. Or half moon cookie, known in some places as a black and white cookie. And I can look at the little icon here, or a little photo of it. I know that's what I'm looking for. Boy, that looks good. Black and white cookie originated, according to this, from Yorkville, New York, which is just outside of Utica, New York. Well, I happen to know that that's incorrect. It actually was invented by, or it was started by Hemstroth's Bakery in Utica, New York. And as a kid, I used to get the black and white cookies from Hemstroth's Bakery. And I still can taste them, and I can't find any that are like it anywhere else. But it talks about where you can find the best black and white cookies. A lot of them are in New York City and other locations. Most of these are New York City. Then there's some more cookies and more from New York. When we click on Explore the Map, you get a map of the world with a lot of foods. And you can zoom in and move around the map with your mouse, click and drag it. Take a look at Vancouver, and we have a localized specialty called an ℚ𝕚𝕚 bar. And there are creamy, chocolatey dessert treats from Nanaimo, which is a city. I'm sure that Ron is probably familiar with this product. I am not. I've never heard of it before. You can get the recipe. You can view the recipe. And you can click down and it will show you some places where you can purchase an ℚ𝕚𝕚 bar, and beautiful pictures to describe the food. There's more chocolate desserts as we scroll down, and then more from British Columbia and Canada. We'll now move down to Seattle. For those of you in the Seattle region, you're probably familiar with the Seattle dog. And it consists of a tasty toasted bun and a sausage that's topped with cream cheese, barbecue sauce, cabbage, and a large amount of grilled onions. And there's a lot of varieties of it. And here are some locations in the Seattle area where you can purchase one of these Seattle dogs. And there's some other hot dog varieties. And then more hot dogs. And then more from Washington and Western United States. Let's go to Oklahoma, the home of the onion burger. And that's what an onion burger looks like, also known as the Oklahoma onion burger. Here's what it contains. Here's how they build it. Burger bun, mustard, pickles, American cheese, smashed beef and onion patty, and burger bun. Here are some places where you can purchase one. There's some other varieties of burgers and similar burgers. And then more from Oklahoma and southern United States. From here, let's go to New Mexico. And let's go to the breakfast burrito in New Mexico. Now, the breakfast burrito craze started to catch on and soon found its way into mainstream fast food establishments such as McDonald's and Taco Bell, but it actually was invented in 1975 in Tia Sofia, a cafe in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Tells you the recipe ingredients. Here are some variations. You can go in and take a look at the authentic recipe, and you can view places where you can purchase. this burrito, and of course other burrito varieties and similar breakfasts. And you can click on any of these and it will take you to that item. From here, let's go to Arizona. And the different ingredients here and where you can purchase. Let's now go to Florida and go to the Cuban sandwich in Florida. Cuban sandwich is bread, butter, pickled cucumber, pork, boiled ham, garlic, onion, and oregano. And here's how you build it. And then what they do is they put it in a machine that grills it and smashes it down so it's nice and flat and makes a delicious sandwich. Known throughout Florida, probably the most famous are in Miami and in Tampa. And the Columbia restaurant in Tampa is a good place to get it, and they also have a Columbia restaurant out on St. Armand's Circle, which is near me in Sarasota. There are similar sandwiches, again, and more from Florida, including the Cuban bread, which is the main ingredient of a Cuban sandwich. And Cuban bread tastes much different than most other breads, and it's delicious. One other place I do want to visit, and we have to zoom in a little bit. Of course, we could look at Buffalo and look at the buffalo wings, but we're going to come into a little bit closer here and look at the chicken riggies. Now, I'm from Utica, New York originally, and we moved out of New York in 1957, and I keep reading articles from Utica that talk about how famous this food is from Utica, and I had never heard of it. Well, I discovered by going to this website and reading about it that it didn't start until in the 1970s. So I was long gone from the Utica area when this dish appeared on the scene. But you can go and you can find chicken riggies in these several restaurants in central New York. And you can go anywhere in the world, zoom in, and find the local foods. This is tasteatlas.com, a place to certainly make you hungry and give you the recipes to make your own and try the various foods from around the world. tasteatlas.com. Website of the week, I'm Hewie Poplock. Thanks for being here.
You don't need to be a musician to write or perform music. All you need is a little help from Google by joining their Chrome Music Lab. Simply go to their website and start to experiment. And as you can see, there are lots of experiments. I even found one where all you have to do is doodle to create music. Let me show you how easy this is. This is called Kandinsky. Select it. It opens up a tab for you. And as it showed you, doodle and create music. So let's do a little fun thing on here. Now you've made some doodles. Now let's hit the play button and see what it turns into. I told you I wasn't a musician, but even a novice can come up with something pretty unique. Why not give it a try?